Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you guys for tuning in. I am so grateful for you guys and all the things you've been doing. I asked you guys if we could get to 600 subscribers last video, and you guys blew that goal out of the water, so I'm really thankful for all of that. But yeah, continue to subscribe if you're a new subscriber. If you want to help me get to my next goal of 700 subscribers, hit the subscribe button. Leave a like. Yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments below. Aside from that, let's jump into this video. My name is Emmanuel Kamia, and you are watching League Talk. The season isn't even over yet, and I'm already excited for the offseason. With the offseason comes blockbuster trades, big names join and leave teams, new super teams are created, and this sets up the upcoming season for the NBA. So the offseason is a very crucial and important part of the NBA calendar year. And one name that is prominent in this year's offseason that is coming up a lot in this offseason is one Damian Lillard. Damian Lillard is a very highly skilled guard in the NBA. Damian Lillard is a top 3 guard in the NBA today, with counterparts such as Stephen Curry or Kyrie Irving. So he is very, very skilled and very coveted in the NBA. And because of his skills, he's a very sought after player. And even though he is not a free agent this summer, many have speculated that he might leave Portland in a blockbuster deal this summer. And these speculations come up for a number of reasons. One of the major reasons being that year in, year out, Damian Lillard and the Portland Trailblazers always fail to go deep into the playoffs. Damian Lillard is a great talent, but as we all know in this league, nobody can do it alone. Whether you're LeBron James, Michael Jordan, nobody can do it alone. And as great as Damian Lillard is, he cannot do it alone, and we have witnessed that for a number of years now, where he goes into the playoffs and his team always gets bounced out no matter how good he is. And that's because the Portland Trailblazers have failed to surround Damian Lillard with the correct talent in order to make a deep playoff push, or in order to send him into the finals or the conference finals or anything like that. CJ McCollum is not good enough for them to actually be a threat in the Western Conference, and because of that, a whole lot of Portland's success lies on the back of Damian Lillard. And even though he succeeds and he comes through every time, it's just not enough, and it's not his fault. And because of this, many, including myself, think that Damian Lillard is wasting his prime years in Portland. Like I said, CJ McCollum and all the other guys around him are not good enough for him to actually be a feasible threat to teams in the Western Conference like Golden State, Los Angeles, the Clippers. The Portland Trailblazers, they always make the playoffs, always, but they don't go anywhere. They're always the bottom feeder in the playoffs, and they don't go anywhere. And Damian is wasting his years in Portland if he continues on this path. And year in, year out, we have to watch Damian be bounced out, be knocked out in either the first or second round, never in the conference finals, never that deep into the playoffs. And because of that, it is finally Dame's time to leave Portland. But the issue here is that Damian Lillard isn't the type of player to go up to the front office and demand a trade, nor is he the type of player to join a super team. He stated this in the past. He wants other players to come to him. He has this old school mentality where he's loyal to his team. He's kind of like Giannis. Giannis is very loyal to his team, very grateful that they drafted him. But at some point, Damian Lillard has to acknowledge the fact that when it's all said and done, and when he hangs it up, he wants something to look back on and say, I played for this, I got this, something that was worthwhile. Maybe that's an MVP trophy, but most likely a NBA championship ring. That's what we play for, that's what we count. And Damian Lillard at some point is going to have to acknowledge, if I want one of those things, I have to leave. It's been 9 years since he's been in Portland. I have to leave. And luckily for him, there is a team that would love to have him, like every other team, but also has the means to trade for him. And that team being, drumroll please, Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers and Damian would fit perfectly. The Lakers definitely need to get Damian Lillard, and Damian needs to go play with LeBron. And many of you might be saying the Lakers don't need to to get Damian Lillard because they have LeBron and Anthony Davis. But here's my rebuttal to that. Coming into this year, the Lakers were the title favorites. They were the favorites to win the championship, and they came up short. They came up short because of two things: LeBron aging and injuries, particularly Anthony Davis's injuries. And Anthony Davis has showed that he cannot stay healthy. He is not reliable. He cannot give you 82 games. He does not play a lot of the crucial playoff games, as we saw in this past playoffs, where he didn't play where they needed him to play the most, and LeBron was left holding the bag. And the only reason that the Lakers even won last year was because they got that 4-year vacation time, as we'd call it, due to the NBA going into lockdown. So that was they had time to rejuvenate and to collect each other and get back to being healthy. This season, where it was condensed and you had to play games in and out, Anthony Davis's body just couldn't take it. We were witnessed and we were exposed to the truth of Anthony Davis is great, but he's not gonna get he's not that guy to rely on. He's not a reliable number 2 for LeBron James. And so because of that, the Lakers, it would be in the best interest for the Lakers to move off of Anthony Davis. Now, the only way this would work is if Damian Lillard somehow went to the front office with, and said, hey, you guys, look, I've been a good soldier. I've been loyal. I've been a good guy. I played my heart out for you guys year in, year out for 9 years. And I haven't yielded the results I want. I think it's time for me to move on, and I want to go join the Los Angeles Lakers, and I want to give you guys a heads up so maybe you guys can get something in return. He goes up to the organization, he tells them that. I think the Portland Trail Blazers would be inclined to respect his wishes and at the same time trade for Anthony Davis in return so they can get something back for Damian Lillard, because they don't want to just let him walk for free. That is a plausible way. That's something that could happen. That's what happened with Anthony Davis. People said he wouldn't do it, but he did it. He left New Orleans and he went to the Lakers. And another thing is that it seems that LeBron's already in recruitment mode and is recruiting Damian Lillard. Some might say I'm reaching for what I'm about to say, but hear me out. The other night, LeBron was at the Los Angeles Sparks game with Dwayne Wade, and coincidentally, Damian Lillard also happened to be there, and he's dapping up LeBron James. And of course, that speculates rumors of is LeBron courting, and is he trying to recruit Damian Lillard? And I say yes. I think LeBron is a very strategic player. I think everything he does is always somewhat premeditated. I think that he is there and he is recruiting Damian Lillard. People are going to say it's a reach. There's nothing here, but I think LeBron is recruiting Damian Lillard. And people will say that those guys were just there to support the WNBA. But what I'm saying is this: how did the rumors of Anthony Davis to Los Angeles start? People said everybody was reaching. They said it was just rumors. They said Anthony Davis didn't have the backbone to demand a trade, X, Y, and Z. And somehow, some way, Anthony Davis is playing for the Lakers today, and he's won a championship with the Lakers. So, like I'm telling you, this is how these things start. They start off as rumors. People say you're reaching. People saying that's not going to happen. Then they start rolling, and the rumors turn out to be true, and one thing leads to another, and players move to different teams. I think that's what's going to happen with Damian Lillard. I think a lot of teams are going to be after him this offseason. A lot of teams, because everybody in the NBA world recognizes this, that Damian is wasting his prime years in a team that can't appreciate him, doesn't appreciate him, doesn't give him the tools he needs to succeed. And I think Rob Pelinka will pull the strings in order to get Damian Lillard. He'll be someone who can play the majority of games, and it'll solve the Los Angeles Lakers point guard woes, because if you aren't up to date, Dennis Schroeder wants to get paid north of $100 million from the Lakers, and the Lakers don't want to pay him that money. And so now the Lakers have a point guard issue where they don't have a point guard. You bring in Damian Lillard, that solves your issue. That kills two birds with one stone. You get a point guard, and you move off of Anthony Davis, and you get a solid number 2 for LeBron James. And I think that's what's going to happen this offseason. And another thing is that once someone gets a taste of something good, it's always hard for them to go back to the way things were. That is a trope. That is a fact of life. For example, once someone gets a taste of a good, stable relationship, after years of being in toxic relationships with, whoever they may be in relationships with, it's hard for them to go back to a toxic relationship and start to accept and tolerate toxicity. And that's going to be the exact same thing with Damian Lillard this summer. Damian Lillard will be exposed to playing with high quality talent at the Summer Olympics in Tokyo. He's going to be exposed to playing with guys like Kevin Durant, James Harden. For the first time in his career, be able to play with stars. Be able to play, and he's going to get a taste of what it's like. This is the same thing that happened to LeBron. LeBron, for years, year in, year out, tolerated the Cleveland Cavaliers for 7 years. They weren't able to surround him with good talent, but he tolerated them. He stayed with them until he went to play for the Olympics national team, and he got to play with Chris Bosh. He got to play with all these guys, and a light bulb went off in his head. Ding! And he said, this is what I need to do. I need to go play with other All-Stars. And he went to Miami, and he recruited Chris Bosh to join him and Dwayne Wade in Miami, and the rest is history. So like I'm telling you, this summer, after Damian Lillard gets a taste or gets to play with All-Stars, it's going to change his perspective on loyalty. He's going to say, you know, maybe I need to leave. And so, yeah, those are just my thoughts on the whole situation. I think Damian Lillard, it's his time to leave. I think this is the offseason for him. I think a lot of teams are going to be coming after him aggressively to try and get him off of Portland's hands. And the Lakers are going to be one of those teams that can actually go after Damian Lillard, and I think LeBron would be up for it. And yeah, those are just my thoughts. If you have dissenting thoughts, if you think that's not true at all, leave your thoughts down in the comments below. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time, kids.